introduction, everyone. I know you've missed me because I've missed making a video, so let's just get started. I'm gonna need a lot of this for this one. So again, I just wanted to take the time to say thank you to everyone who watched my video from last week. It means the absolute world for me. And if you guys have liked and subscribed to my page already, thank you so much because it's growing by the day and it makes me so happy to see that so many people are logging on and all of the feedback I've been getting. It's been amazing. So thank you so much. To be completely honest with you, I really didn't even think I was going to make it past, episode 2 because I didn't think anyone was going to watch these videos. So thank you so much, guys. And with that comment that I just made, that actually ties so perfectly into this video I'm making for this week. So we're just going to skirt right onto it. Confession 3. We're gonna get this party started because I clearly, this is unfiltered. This is me. This is what you're getting when I record these videos. So you can kind of see how much I overthink. No, I am not talking about overthinking like the big decisions that we make in our lives. Yes, I have overthought, what kind of car am I going to get? Where am I going to go to college? Everyone overthinks that kind of stuff. Oh no. Oh no. I overthink like the most minuscule things that there are in life. It's so funny because my best friend sent me this meme the other day and it was like, hey, sorry I didn't text you back. I've been really busy, overthinking every little decision I needed to make and all of my friendships, and I'm, catching up in the last 23 years of sleep. That meme describes me absolutely perfectly. Now, I know it's natural for people to overthink. Everyone does it. It's part of human life. However, if you're like me, and a lot of you kind of are, I can already tell, I overthink everything from the time I get up in the morning until the time that I go to bed. Every interaction I have, every conversation I have, every decision I make, what I'm going to eat for dinner. I overthink these smallest things. My friendships, my relationships, my future, my past, everything. Nothing is off limits to me. Now, if you're an overthinker, you're gonna understand where I'm coming from. Because I've overthought so much for so long, my anxiety has skyrocketed. When you are an overthinker, you have all this anxiety and worry about, well, did I do something wrong? Am I going to regret this? Should I feel a certain way about this? Should I have not done that? Whatever the case is, you just overanalyze it and you go over it so many times in a day. It's like a perseveration that you can't stop. Since you can't stop, the anxiety then builds and then you get in your head about it to the point where you can't shut your mind off. And then you're just in this nice little deep dark hole that I like to call Crazyville that I only thought was existing in my head, but apparently a lot of people experience this. So this video is for you if you've ever experienced anything like this. Now, with the first comment I made in the introduction, I overthought even making this YouTube channel, which this is a little bit more of a bigger thing to me because it's kind of putting myself out there. It's exposing who I am for the benefit of you guys. Love you all. I hope you really enjoy these videos for my sake. In my first video, I said this is something that I've dreamed about doing since I was 15. I've always wanted to share my story. Lord knows I'm long-winded. I have a lot of life experience, contrary to my young age, but I felt like I had a message that people needed to hear. When I was 15, I was like, God, no, Haley, do not share that because you will be ridiculed forever. I overthought it. I overanalyzed it. I said, I'm 15. Nobody's going to want to hear a story from a 15-year-old. Nobody wants to even have a conversation with a 15-year-old most days, so nobody wanted to listen to me. When I turned 18, I was like, maybe this will be the time that I can do it. I'm a little bit older. I'm almost an adult now. People might have a little bit more respect for me. But then I overthought it and was like, no, because I don't want to lose my friends because I wanted everyone to like me at the time I was 18. Confession 2. Now, here we are. I'm 23 years old. I'm finally ready to make this YouTube page. And I think it was 6 months ago that I first got this idea. And I like I said, 6 months, from 6 months until now when I'm actually doing it, I overthought everything. I thought about, well, I'm a teacher and is it inappropriate for me to make a YouTube page? I'm a medium. Is this going to hurt my business for me making a YouTube page and people thinking that they can't come to me because I'm not professional? I started thinking about the families that I nanny for. I'm like, oh my God, are they going to think that I'm weird for making a YouTube page, or are they not going to like it? I thought about my friends. I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe my friends are going to think that I'm really out there. Maybe they're going to try to commit me somewhere because I'm clearly losing my marbles. I thought about my parents. I'm like, good Lord, they're going to be like, Haley, what are you doing? You are exposing yourself. Please knock it off. Thought about my brothers. I thought about my neighbors. I thought about my students. I literally thought about everything and how people were going to think of me when I made this YouTube channel. Aside from what people thought of me, I also thought about the logistics of it. I'm like, okay, is anyone going to be interested in hearing what I have to say? I know I'm really interested in what I have to say, clearly, but is anyone else going to take interest to it? Then I thought about putting it up on YouTube. I knew literally nothing about creating a YouTube page. I didn't know how to edit a video. I literally did not even know how to get a video from my phone onto my computer in order for it to be edited and then published on YouTube. So again, no business making a YouTube page. I overthought it like crazy. I then started thinking about, okay, well, how do I build a subscribing list? How do I get my video out there? How do I share it on Facebook? How do I copy the link? I overthought every single step for it for so long, 6 months, because I didn't know how to go about it, or I didn't know how people were going to react to it. Clearly I got over it, here I am. This YouTube page is not the only thing. We've heard in my other confessions that I didn't know my career path and I overthought becoming a teacher. I thought, 5-10 years from now, am I still going to be happy being a teacher? Is that going to be something that's fulfilling to me? I overthought if it was going to be enough money for me to survive. I overthought if I was even going to be good at it. I'm gonna tell you right now, most days I'm not very good at it. That's a whole nother episode. Again, career choice is kind of like a big decision. So let me really get into the nitty and gritty and how I overthink everything. So aside from the big life decisions, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the daily things I overthink. And I'm hoping this resonates with people to let you know that you're not crazy and that there's a lot of people that do this, and it took me a super long time to figure that out. Starting first and foremost with the outfits that I put on every day. I will wake up and put an outfit on and then stare in the mirror for approximately 2 to 3 minutes per outfit that I put on. I put on about, I'd say 10 a day. I think, is this too short? Is it too long? Is it appropriate? Is it not appropriate? Does it fit the occasion that I'm going to, or am I going to stand out too much? Do I blend in a little bit too much? Does this color look great on me? Do I even have accessories that are going to go with this outfit? How am I going to wear my hair with this outfit? Am I going to look weird if I step out into public like this? Is this too bougie to be laying around my apartment in when I have nothing to do on a Sunday day and I just want to watch Netflix all day? That's one example. Okay, so then we push past the outfit overanalyzation, okay? I walk up the stairs. It's time for breakfast. Now, as I said before, I've been trying to lose weight actively. Work in progress, trust me. I then get into the overanalyzation of what I'm going to eat in a day. Now, most people, I'm pretty sure, because I have 2 brothers and they don't think like I do, they'll wake up, they eat breakfast, they mostly have some eggs and toast. About 2 hours later, they'll have a little snacky snack. About 2 hours after that, they'll have some lunch, probably like a sandwich or like soup and a salad. I don't know, something really nice. And then, 2 hours after that, they have another snack. And then like 2 hours after that, they have dinner. And then about 2 hours after that, they have another snack. You get my point. Me, on the other hand, I wake up, gotta wait till 10 o'clock because of the fasting. By the time it's time for breakfast, I go, okay, what am I eating for dinner? Now you're probably like, Haley, who cares? It's breakfast time. Why are you thinking about dinner? This is where the overanalyzation comes into play. So if I know for dinner, I'm either getting food taken out, like I'm going out to a restaurant with a friend, or if I know that I'm having something with carbs, like rice or quinoa or a wrap of some sort, I have to tell myself, okay, you can't have carbs in the morning because that's just too much carb, and honestly it makes me sick. That really has nothing to do with losing weight, it just makes me a little too sick. So I then have to think about, okay, what can I have for breakfast that has no carbs, that's also nutritious, that I'm not going to also eat later in the day as a snack, or I'm not going to eat and affect my dinner. I then think about it for about 10 minutes about what I'm going to eat for breakfast, and I go through all the options. And don't worry guys, I know what you're thinking, okay? I eat the same breakfast almost every day. It always ends up the same thing. I don't know why there has to be so much thought into it, but there always has to be. Okay, got breakfast under control. No biggie. Now, my days now require a lot less overthinking because I'm kind of stuck at home because, again, COVID's still going on. But when I was going to work, the overthinking was just astronomical, okay? When you're a teacher, and so I'm a special ed teacher, I love my job. I have the best kids ever. Shout out to all of them too. But I always want to be so methodical with how I deliver feedback or how I deliver praise. And that's been drilled in my head since I've gone to college. It's like you have to say it a certain way, or you have to come off a certain way so you're not either killing their confidence or boosting their ego. You know, you kind of have to do a balancing act. I'd always overthink it, like, oh my god, was that a mean comment? Like, are they upset? Did I just shoot down their confidence right then and there? Or I think the opposite of, holy god, they're gonna do this behavior over and over and over again because they think it's okay, and it's not okay, but I didn't set my boundaries strict enough. Alongside of comments that I made to kids and me overthinking that, I also overthought every interaction I had with a student. Am I being too nice? Am I being too mean? Am I not being strict enough with this kid? Am I being too strict with this kid? Are they learning everything? Are they learning too much? Am I throwing too much at them? It's just constantly like an overthinking bubble. Like anything I do, any decision I make, how can I overthink it to the next level? Once the anxiety sets in, then I really just, crazy town starts spinning its wheels. It lights up the city. We are ready for showtime, baby. I will start just getting super sick. I'll start panicking. I will start thinking worst case scenario for everything. So let me give you an example. I had a little kid, cute as a button, such a sweet little boy. However, he was having an awful day. He was not being very kind to me or anyone else. I ended up having to pull him aside and have a conversation with him about how we treat other people with respect, how we need to be respectful, how, hitting me and hitting others and trying to stab people with scissors probably isn't the best way to go about things. I then, after having that conversation with him in the hall, started to overthink the whole thing and every little word I said. Did I say something that was going to give him an idea of how to act worse? Did I do that inappropriately? Like, should I have not brought him out into the hall? Should I have not brought up his behaviors that he had done and talked to him about it and just kind of gone about my day? And then I started thinking the other, well, if I didn't do that, then maybe he would have done something worse, or maybe he would have hurt someone, or, whatever. Maybe I would have gotten in trouble with my principal at the time. So that was like the initial overthinking, and then it got better. It started spiraling. So this interaction happened at like 8:30 in the morning. At like 10 o'clock, the same little boy had gotten in trouble with, I think it was the principal or the assistant principal, I can't remember which, but he had gotten in trouble with the principal, and he had told the principal, Miss Winch had pulled me aside and she said things to me that made me want to do what I did in gym class. So then, I had no idea this was happening. My principal ended up coming up to me and was like, what happened this morning? Just kind of give me the lowdown, because he's saying that you had a conversation with him and it caused him to do this. Obviously, we don't believe that, but we just want the background story. So I told them verbatim what I said, we can't stab people with scissors, we can't hurt Miss Winch, whatever, we gotta keep our hands to ourselves. After the conversation with my principal, I really started grinding the wheels. I'm like, here we go, girl, let's get it going. How can we overthink this? I started thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna lose my job. That was the first thought. My principals think I'm an awful teacher. I'm gonna get fired. My next thought was, oh my god, I actually did cause him to do the behaviors that he did, and it's my fault. I think the third thought at that point was, this kid is going to do something even worse later in the day, and it will then be my fault, and then I'm going to be fired, and then I'm going to have to deal with it, and then I'm going to have to talk to the parent. The parent's going to think I'm absolutely nuts, and then I'm going to get fired, and never get a job again anywhere else because of this one thing that happened this morning. Praise the Lord that I had an amazing, amazing supervisor. She was my cooperating teacher when I student taught. I thankfully went to her and started spewing things to her, which I did this on the daily. This was not a one-time thing. This was a daily thing. And I started saying to her, I think I'm a bad teacher because this happened. I think that I can't do my job because this happened. I think the principal's going to look at me and say, Haley's not fit to be in the school and to teach because this happened. And she basically kind of cut me off right there. She's like, Haley, it was one scenario, the kid was in the wrong, and you tried fixing it. You cannot take on the responsibility of him. You cannot take on the thoughts that he has. You cannot take on the problems that he is having because you did your job. And I think at that moment was when I kind of realized that I had been overthinking not just that, but everything in my life. So shout out to Chris Hetty, because without you, I don't think I'd ever think that I was overthinking. But like I said, with my interaction with Hetty and her kind of slowing my thinking down one day about one scenario that happened, I realized that I was constantly on this treadmill and trying to chase future problems from happening while also reliving problems that had already happened. This is where overthinking happens, everyone. So if you're an overthinker, sit here and think about it for a second. I'm so funny. No, but seriously, think about it for a second. It's either a situation that's already happened, it's in the past, or you're overanalyzing something that hasn't happened yet. Or, I mean, maybe that's just me, but I'm pretty sure it's not. When we stop and stop thinking 10 steps ahead or 15 steps behind us and we live in the moment, we don't get the overthinking. We don't run on the treadmill. We're not on the hamster wheel spinning our wheels and going nowhere and then having anxiety. We're present, we're living, we're enjoying what's to come and what's happening at that time. We're not focused on the future, we're not focused on the past, we're not overthinking. Now, this is something that I am still actively working on, because for all of you who know me know that I like to think 10 steps ahead or 10 steps behind me, because I like to learn from my mistakes while also creating a bright future for me. But I've learned that the whole point of life is enjoying the ride that you're on. The reason why we're here, the reason why we're given this life is to stop, take a breath, look at where you are, enjoy where you are. Like I said, this has been something I've been working on since Hetty pretty much stopped me in my tracks and was like, dude, chill out, I can't listen to this right now. But on a serious note, once we stop spinning on that hamster wheel and we realize, okay, this is what's happening right now, this is the current situation I'm in, this is the current problem I'm in, we start to enjoy it more and we stop projecting what could come or perseverating on what has already happened. The thing is, when we overanalyze things, we tend to think the worst, or we tend to think the most negative things about ourselves, because we would rather think that way about ourselves than have other people think that about us without us knowing it. When in all reality, people don't think that negatively of us. We are our hardest critics, and anyone who knows me will tell you that I am my hardest critic. But it's the truth. When we stop fixating so much on the negative and it coming from other people, and instead live in the moment and take it for what it is and realize we can't control other people's thoughts and actions, the overthinking kind of stops. It like goes hand in hand. They coexist with one another. We all overthink. It's human nature. We all do it. And no, it's not just the big decisions. It's the little everyday things. And I think that's why so many people struggle with anxiety, is because we tend to overthink things that, again, are yet to come or have already happened and we can't change them. You can look back on situations in the past and reflect and say, okay, I may not have liked what I said here, how can I deliver that better in the future? Or how can I change myself to make it so I'm the best version of myself that people are getting? When it comes to the future, yes, we would all like to know, are we going to end up in a relationship? Am I going to be as single as a Pringle for the rest of my life? Probably, but that's a whole nother topic. Am I going to be a teacher forever? Is this YouTube page ever going to go anywhere? The best part about life is that we don't know what's to come. Happiness is hidden in the unknown. I will say it over and over and over again until I'm 100 years old. We don't know what's going to happen, and that's the best part, is that so many things can happen. You can have success come your way. You can have a great marriage come your way. You can have amazing traveling opportunities come your way. There are so many things that can happen, so why think 10 steps ahead and get so anxious about them happening? Why not just live and appreciate what you are going through right now? Once I stopped overthinking and overanalyzing and predicting the future or living in the past, I started living in the moment, and I started thinking, okay, I have great friends right now. I'm doing well. I may not have a relationship, but I'm super happy not having a relationship. I'm creating a YouTube page for whoever wants to watch it. I don't care who. I don't care if it's one person a week. I'm doing this because I want to do it. I'm writing a book for whoever wants to read it because it might make sense to someone, or it might resonate with someone who they need to hear the lessons that I have to say. I have an amazing career that I get to wake up every day and feel happy about and feel excited about. I have an amazing family that has my back. The point is, I started living in the moment, and I stopped thinking so far ahead or so far behind, because everything that I needed to experience was right in front of me. And that's the truth for everyone. Wherever you are in your life right now, whether you're at a super high point or a super low point, just live it. Just be there, be with it, be present. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink about what you should be doing or what you shouldn't be doing, or the people that you're with or the people you're not with, or the interactions you're having. Because all it's going to do is cause anxiety or cause you going on this tailspin where you want to change everything, or you're worried about what other people are thinking about you, and that's out of your control. At the end of the day, we can't change what's to come, and we can't change what's already happened. We could just live in it, we could just accept it for what it is, maybe reflect on it and change it for the future. The more we overthink and we go on this constant hamster wheel of every thought, every interaction, every decision we make, the more unhappy we really are. The more we're worried about other people's feelings instead of our own. The more we're worried about the future and the things that have come. The more that we're living in the past. Knock it off! Live in the moment! Stop overthinking! And I'm not making this video to preach at people and be like, you need to stop overthinking because that's why you have anxiety. Trust me, that's not why I'm here. I'm making this video because I was the person that was overthinking, and I needed this video 5 years ago when this all started to really go on a tailspin. I needed someone to tell me, dude, relax. It's going to work out. Everything's going to work out the way it needs to, and the things that didn't work out in the past, you can't change. What did you learn from it? Overthinking and overanalyzing has literally run my life for too long, and I'm done letting it. I'm done constantly questioning myself or constantly setting myself in a frenzy over things that I can't change. It is what it is. Life is the way it is, and there's great things to come, and there's things that have happened that I just can't continue perseverating on. I can go on this topic forever, but I'm pretty sure anyone listening to this is like, she has literally said overthinking 8 million times, and I'm about to shut this video off. I agree. I'm so sick of saying this word over and over and over again. I'm starting to overthink about if I even got this message right. So on that note, I'm going to hop off for this week. If you like this video, please make sure that you're liking and subscribing to Miss Confession, where she likes to just overanalyze if you guys are even getting the content that she's producing. No, on a serious note, please make sure that you're liking and subscribing, you're sharing my video, you are continuing to let me know your feedback, and if you want me to talk about a certain topic, if you want me to answer some questions, let me know, because I'm willing to do anything on this thing. And that's a wrap for this week, folks. I'm done overthinking and overanalyzing the things that haven't even happened yet. So on that note, peace and blessings. Love you all. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next Thursday on Miss Confession. Bye, guys.